Hey, hi guys, nice to see you all again. Some fantastic news before we start today's video is that we are very close to our first 100 subscribers to this video channel, and that's absolutely fantastic. So share it with everybody you know, share it in all your circles, share it with your friends, your family, because the more education we can give to people out there about dementia, the better. So thank you very much for your continued and ongoing support. I think you're all great. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the do's and don'ts of optimal sleep. Over the years, we've learned more about how the lack of sleep contributes to dementia. So difficulty with sleeping is a big contributing factor, and today many people have issues with sleep. So let's look at the do's and don'ts. It's really important that we get a good 7.5 hours of undisturbed sleep. And if we think about splitting it up into 4, what we want to see is we want to see some light sleep. We want to see some REM sleep. We want to see some deep sleep. And then there's this, the 4th bit, which is, waking up. Many people wake up in the night, go to the bathroom or get disturbed by a sound or something, but they're able to go back to sleep again. And that's okay. It's the ability to go back to sleep again that is really important. So out of those things, what part of sleep is really, really important? Well, if we think about the non-REM sleep, now REM sleep stands for rapid eye movement, and that's our dream state sleep. Our non-REM sleep is deep sleep. And what we'd like to see is at least 2 hours of good, deep sleep. And the reason for that is that your glymphatic system, which is like your refuge people, your bin men, your trash collectors, they come out when you're in this deep sleep. They come out and clean up all the mess in the brain, all the stuff that we've gathered throughout the day, all the bad stuff, all the toxins and all the things we've breathed in and all the stuff that has gone into our brain. Well, these guys, they come out at night time, just like they do in London. If anybody's stayed in London overnight, you can hear all these guys coming out at 2 o'clock in the morning to clean up the streets. Well, your glymphatic system is that. It cleans yourself up during deep sleep. So it's really important that we have some good deep sleep. So that's a do. You must make sure that you increase. If you have low deep sleep, I'll give you some ideas and some strategies and some tips to increase and improve that. So whether or not you are living with a form of neurocognitive disorder, or whether we're talking about reducing your risk of developing a neurocognitive disorder, sleep always plays a part. It always plays a role. Sleep hygiene, that is really important. So what do you do before you go to sleep? What do you do before you go to bed at night time? Many, many, many people do one of these 2 things. Watch television or play on your phone or your computer or your tablet or your laptop or whatever it is. And that is really negative. It's a negative thing to do. So, because it scrambles your brain, and we want a relaxed brain before we go to sleep. So about an hour before you go to sleep, read or listen to some music or do some meditation or some self-relaxation or write in your diary. Whatever it is, do something that helps you relax and not something that scrambles your brain, like screen time. So reduce your screen time. That's a real big thing to do. Secondly, make sure that your bedroom is around about 68 degrees. 69 at the highest. So make sure your room is cold as possible. I mean, the colder, the better. But around about 68 degrees is what your body likes for sleep. The third thing is wear earplugs. Block out as much noise as you possibly can. Remember, the brain takes in all information. It takes in so much information. It can hear sounds, light, all kinds of stuff going on, smells. So you want to reduce as much sensory input as possible. And if you have to, wear a mask, an eye mask at night time. If there's issues with light coming into the room and there's nothing you can do to block it out, then use an eye mask so that you cover the light. So remove as much sensory input as possible. When you lay down to go to sleep, think about something really, really happy. Something that's really cool that happened either today or in the week. Something that made you smile, made you feel good. And kind of relive it, replay it in your brain as you start to drift off to sleep. Some people might need to use music, which is cool. You can listen to music as you drift off to sleep. Whatever it is that's going to help you get into that deep state of sleep, please do it. So no screen time. You know, I tell my patients, all my patients and their families, reduce the amount of screen time you have before you go to sleep. And that'll really help you. Now, people who are living with neurocognitive disorders, such as Alzheimer's disease, at certain part of the process, certain part of the journey, the reticular activating system, which is a little switch in the brain, it kind of switches on and off your conscious awareness, can get damaged. And there's not a lot you can do about that. So taking sleep medicine is not a good idea. Taking sleep medicine if your reticular activating system isn't working, isn't functioning, is totally irrelevant, is defunct. There's no point doing it. If there is difficulty with sleeping, and this is usually people getting up in the night a number of times, then try some natural things. Try those activities and suggestions that I already mentioned. But also think about maybe chamomile tea or valerian tea or melatonin. Melatonin is naturally produced in our body, so sometimes it might need a top up. So 5 milligrams of melatonin about an hour before you go to bed is recommended there. And some valerian tea. So if you took valerian tea and 5 milligrams of melatonin, then you're going to be in a good place. That'll be really helpful. So the big takeaway from today's video is reduce the amount of screen time at least 60 minutes before you are ready to lay down and go to sleep. And that'll do it. That'll do it for this week. So see if you can follow those things and improve your sleep quality. Quality and sleep hygiene, very, very important. Most of my patients who are having difficulty with sleeping, I always recommend that they have a watch that can monitor your sleep. Okay, so mine's an Apple Watch, and it monitors my sleep. It tells me when, how, where, how many hours I was awake, how many hours I was asleep, how many hours I'm in deep, how many hours I'm in light and REM, and really, really good idea. And for people who are living with Alzheimer's disease or another form of dementia, it's a good idea to have something that is basic and easy enough to follow. So a Fitbit is something that is really useful. I work with people and I kind of monitor their sleep and I get the data, and then we're able to design a specific sleep program, sleep plan for that individual. So that wraps up today's video. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. You can learn more about me and what I do just by going to my website, which is drdanielnightingale.com. So you can go there. And if you've got any questions about anything pertaining to dementia or Parkinson's disease, so any neurological or neurocognitive disorder, please post it on the YouTube channel and we will answer your questions pretty quickly. So thank you. This video, of course, is being posted a day early. So it's Tuesday rather than Wednesday, and that's because of managerial issues with the practice. So it's a day early, but that's not bad, is it? So I'll see you next week. Tune in next week for something that's really, really exciting and educational. Have a good week. Bye, guys.